She called me Mom for 3 years. Not as a joke, not out of convenience, but because I was the one who fed her, protected her, held her when her own family fell apart. I loved her like she was mine, like she was my daughter. And that's exactly why. What I'm about to tell you will make you sick. One afternoon, I came home early. The house was quiet, too quiet, until I heard something coming from the living room. Soft whispers, a sound I couldn't quite place. My heart started racing as I walked closer, and then I saw them. On my couch, my husband, and the girl who used to call me Mom, together, like I didn't exist, like everything I had done for her meant nothing. This isn't just cheating. This is betrayal at the deepest level. And what I did next didn't just end it. It destroyed them. For the longest time, we looked like the perfect family, not just from the outside, but from within. Weekends were always filled with laughter. Barbecues in the backyard, movie nights on the couch, holidays where the house was full of noise, food, and people who loved each other. Or at least, that's what I believed. Chloe and Emma were inseparable. They grew up side by side, sharing secrets, clothes, and dreams about the future. And because Emma's home life was so broken, ours became her safe place. She practically lived with us, and I didn't mind. I took her shopping, helped her with school, cooked her favorite meals. I listened to her cry about her parents, and I was the one who comforted her when no one else did. Somewhere along the way, she stopped being just Chloe's best friend. She became family. Mark used to joke that we had 2 daughters, and I smiled every time he said it. Because I believed it too. I believed every hug was real. Every I love you meant something. I thought we had built something unbreakable. But the truth is, sometimes the most perfect family is just the best cover for the worst betrayal. Looking back now, the signs didn't appear all at once. They crept in slowly, quietly, almost invisible unless you were really paying attention. Emma started changing first. At some point, the oversized hoodies and messy buns disappeared. They were replaced with tight shorts, cropped tops, outfits that felt too mature for someone who still sat at my dinner table like a child. At first, I told myself she was just growing up. But then came the way she acted around Mark. The accidental touches. Brushing against him in the kitchen. Sitting just a little too close on the couch. Laughing a little too hard at everything he said. And Mark, he didn't pull away. In fact, he leaned in. He started offering to drive her everywhere, school, work, errands she could have handled herself. And then there were the messages. Late at night, his phone would light up. I'd see him smiling, typing quickly, turning the screen away when I walked in. Work stuff, he'd say. Every time. Even Chloe noticed. She told me once, quietly, Dad spends more time with Emma than with me. But I shut it down. I told her she was being jealous. Because the truth is, I wasn't ready to see what was right in front of me. And by the time I couldn't ignore it anymore, it was already too late. It was a Tuesday afternoon. My training got canceled last minute, so I decided to come home early. I remember pulling into the driveway and feeling something off. Mark's car was there. He was supposed to be at work. And right next to it, Emma's car. My chest tightened, but I told myself not to overthink. I walked inside quietly. The house felt too still. Then I heard it. A sound. Soft, but unmistakable. A low moan. Coming from the living room. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Step by step, I moved closer. Every instinct in my body was screaming at me to stop, but I didn't. I turned the corner, and everything shattered. They were on the couch, completely naked. My husband, and the girl who used to call me Mom, his body on top of hers, her legs wrapped around him like she belonged there, like I didn't exist. They didn't even notice me at first, not until I took one more step. Emma saw me. Her eyes went wide, and then she said it. "Mom, please." That word, Mom, coming out of her mouth, in that moment, felt more disgusting than anything I had just seen. Mark jumped up, grabbing whatever he could to cover himself. "Laura, wait." But I couldn't hear him, because in that second, my entire world didn't just break. It collapsed. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't throw anything, because in that moment, something inside me went completely still, like my emotions just shut off. I stood there for a few seconds longer, long enough to see everything clearly. Then I turned around and walked away. That night, he tried to talk. He followed me from room to room, saying my name, trying to explain, but I didn't respond. Not once, because I already knew the truth, and I knew something else too. Reacting would only give them control. So instead, I chose silence. I went to bed without a word, and while he slept, I started planning. The next day, I became someone else. Calm, normal, unbothered. I made breakfast. I smiled. I even asked Emma how her day was, like nothing had happened. And they believed it. They thought I was in shock. They thought I was weak. They thought I would fall apart. But behind that silence, I was watching, listening, setting everything up, because I wasn't going to confront them. I was going to destroy them, slowly and completely. What I found over the next few days was worse than anything I saw on that couch. That moment, that was just the surface, because this wasn't a mistake. It wasn't one time. It wasn't even recent. They had been sleeping together for 8 months. 8 months. Right under my roof, while I cooked for her, while I called her my daughter, while I trusted them both. But it didn't stop there. Mark wasn't just cheating. He was planning a future with her. I heard it in his own words. Recorded. Clear. He told Emma he was going to divorce me. I'll sell the house and move to California with her. Start over, like I was nothing. Like our life meant nothing. And then, it got even worse. They had already started moving money from our joint account into a secret one, in her name. My money, my home, my life, being handed to her behind my back. And the most disgusting part? They talked about Chloe, my daughter, like she was an inconvenience. She'll get over it. She's young. And Laura was never your real mom anyway. That's what Emma said. The girl who used to cry in my arms. The girl who called me Mom. In that moment, I didn't just feel betrayed. I felt erased. Like everything I had given was being rewritten into something worthless. Out of everything I discovered, there was only one thing that truly mattered. Chloe. She deserved the truth. Not lies, not silence, not betrayal. So I sat her down. Just the two of us. No distractions, no one else around. My hands were shaking, but my voice stayed calm. I told her everything. At first, she didn't understand. She kept shaking her head, saying, "No, that's not possible." So I showed her. The messages. the recordings, the truth, and I watched my daughter's heart break in real time. She didn't cry right away. She just sat there, frozen, like something inside her had been pulled apart. Then slowly, she looked at me, and in that moment, I saw it. Not confusion, not doubt, choice. She moved closer and wrapped her arms around me, tightly, like she was afraid to let go. "You're my real mom," she whispered. And that was it. That was the moment everything became clear. I didn't need revenge for myself anymore. I needed to protect her. And anyone who thought they could take her from me had no idea what I was about to do next. Once Chloe chose me, everything became simple. This wasn't about pain anymore. It was about execution. I contacted a family law attorney the very next morning. Not just any attorney. The best one I could find. Someone who knew exactly how to handle cases like this. Then I brought in a private investigator. Quietly. Professionally. No mistakes. I handed over everything I had collected. The recordings. The financial transfers. The messages. Every piece of evidence they thought I would never see. And together, we built something airtight. A case they couldn't escape. Day by day, I kept gathering more. More proof. More leverage. I tracked every transaction. Every lie. Every plan they made behind my back. But the most important part? Timing. I didn't rush. I didn't confront them. Because the moment I did, they would try to hide everything. So I waited. I let them feel safe. I let them believe their plan was working. That I was still blind. Still weak. Still one step behind. When in reality, I was already 10 steps ahead. And when the time came, I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to hit them all at once. Legally. Financially. Emotionally. In a way they would never recover from. The day we went to court, I didn't feel nervous. I felt ready. Because for the first time, the truth wasn't hidden anymore. It was documented. Organized. Impossible to deny. When the evidence was presented, the room shifted. You could feel it. The videos. The recordings. The financial transfers. Every lie they told, laid out in front of a judge who had seen it all, but still looked shocked. Not just by the affair, but by how calculated it was, how long it went on, how far they were willing to go to erase me. Mark tried to speak, to explain, but there was nothing left to explain. Emma didn't even look at me. She just stared at the floor, like the weight of everything had finally caught up to her. And then the decision came. Clear. Final. I was awarded the house. Full custody of Chloe. A substantial financial settlement. Mark was ordered to pay alimony and child support. And Emma? She didn't walk away untouched. A restraining order was issued. She was legally forbidden from coming near us again. In one moment, everything they tried to take from me was taken from them instead. That's the thing about karma. It doesn't scream. It doesn't warn you. It waits. And when it hits where it hurts the most. 6 months later, my life looks completely different. Quieter. Simpler. But finally, peaceful. Chloe and I moved into a new townhouse. A place that feels safe. A place that feels like ours. She still calls me Mom, but now there's something deeper in it. Something stronger. Like we chose each other, after everything. We go to therapy together. We talk more. We heal. together, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I can breathe again. As for Mark, he doesn't have much left. He lost his job not long after everything came out. Now he lives in a small apartment, struggling to keep up with the payments he once thought he could avoid. Emma, she dropped out of college, working a job with no future, no direction, and whatever they thought they had together, it didn't last, because relationships built on betrayal don't survive reality. And me? I'm moving forward, slowly, but honestly. For the first time, I'm not just surviving, I'm free. If there's one thing I learned from all of this, it's that betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes, it comes from the people you trusted the most, the ones you opened your home to, the ones you called family. But here's the truth they don't want you to realize. Their betrayal doesn't define your worth. Their lies don't make you weak. And their choices are not your burden to carry. You can walk away. You can rebuild. And you can come out stronger than they ever expected. Because protecting yourself and protecting your children is never something you should feel guilty for. So if this story made you feel something, anger, pain, or even strength, I want you to do one thing. Comment the word protect and tell me, would you have done the same?